everybody. Good morning, all of you. We can discuss some topics from chapter 2. We already discussed last topic, outbreeding device from chapter 2. Next, pollen pistil interactions. Before lockdown, some of you attend the same. It's no problem. I will repeat the same for everyone. Pollen pistil interaction. Pollen and pistil. Pollen grain is the male reproductive structure and pistil is the female reproductive structure. Interaction between pollen grain and pistil before fertilization, that interaction leads to fertilization. What is, we can discuss it now in the page number 31. This topic is in the page number 30, after outbreeding devices. After outbreeding device. What is pollen pistil interaction? Pollen pistil interaction means this is an event. The event is starting from pollen deposition on stigma. Do you know what is stigma, style and ovary? Stigma is the upper part of the female reproductive structure, and female reproductive structure of the plant consists of three parts: stigma, style and ovary. Last basal part is known as ovary. Ovary contain one or many ovules are there. Then pollen pistil interaction is an event starting from pollen deposition. Pollen grains are dusted on the stigma. Grains come to the stigma. Stigma is the landing platform of pollen grain. When the pollen grain landed on the stigma, start germination. Here the event starting from pollen deposition on stigma until the pollen tube enter into the ovule. That event is known as pollen pistil interaction. What is pollen pistil interaction? It is starting from beginning. That means it starts from pollen deposition. Then pollen grain germinates on stigma. Then pollen tube grow through the style. Then it enter into the ovule. That event is together known as pollen pistil interaction. Before that, this pistil means female reproductive structure. Pistil has the ability to recognize or identify whether the pollen grain is right or wrong. If whether the pollen grain is right or wrong pollen grain. Right pollen grain is also known as compatible pollen grain. Compatible pollen grain means the pollen grain is right or compatible pollen grain means from same species, not from other species. Pollen grain from hibiscus or pollen grain from rose, different species of plants are there. Different species are there. Whether the pollen grain right means compatible pollen grain, whether it is from same species or not. Okay. Then wrong pollen grain. Wrong pollen grain means incompatible pollen grain. It is also known as incompatible pollen grain. If the pollen grain is right, listen here, pistil has the ability to identify whether right or wrong. If pistil identify the pollen grain is right or compatible, what will happen? If it is right, pistil accept the pollen grain and promote pollen germination on stigma. Okay. What is the first process? After identification or recognition, if it is right, pistil accept the pollen grain and it allow pollen germination on stigma and also pollen tube growth within the style. These two events takes place. Then if it is a right pollen grain, pistil accept the pollen grain and allow pollen germination on stigma and pollen tube growth within the style. That is what is about right pollen grain. If the pollen grain is a wrong pollen grain from other species, not from same species, if it is a wrong pollen grain, pistil reject the pollen grain. Pistil will not accept the pollen grain. It will reject the pollen grain and it does not allow pollen tube growth on stigma and pollen tube growth within the style. Okay. Clear what is the difference between right and wrong? Right If it is right, pistil accept the pollen grain. If it is wrong, it will not accept, it will reject the pollen grain and not allow any other process or any other events. That is what is right and wrong pollen grain. Okay. Pollen pistil interaction is a dynamic process. This is a dynamic process. Pollen pistil interaction is a dynamic process in plants because first dynamic process means it involves two processes. There are two processes during pollen pistil interaction. Pistil recognition is there. Pistil will recognize the pollen grain or identify the pollen grain, that followed by acceptance or rejection. First process, recognition or identification. Recognition or identification. Then that followed by acceptance or rejection. That followed by acceptance or rejection. Then that's why pollen pistil interaction is considered as a dynamic process, because it involves two processes. The pollen recognition, whether it is right or wrong, pollen identification of the pollen grain, recognition, then followed by acceptance or rejection. If it is right, it will accept. If it is wrong, it will reject. So it is a dynamic process, pollen pistil interaction. Okay. Then that is what is pollen pistil interaction. Pollen pistil related with this topic, there are three diagrams in your textbook, page number 32. Page number 32, there are three diagrams. This first diagram, this one, these two diagrams, no need to draw it. This is a photograph. You have to draw the first one, figure number 2.12. C diagram, CDE diagram, you can draw. LS of the pistil show the growth of the pollen tube. Then next diagram shows entry of the pollen tube into the egg apparatus. Then next movement of the male gamete. These three diagrams relate with the pollen pistil interaction. After this lecture note, you can write, you can draw the diagram, these three diagrams with the heading. Here in page number 32, figure 2.12, third, fourth, fifth diagram. Okay, clear? All of you clear? Thank you. Good morning, all of you. In this video, we will discuss about the topic, a specific topic, artificial hybridization. This topic is from the chapter 2, sexual reproduction in flowering plants, page number 33. Page number 33, chapter 2. What is artificial hybridization? Artificial hybridization is a crossing experiments of plants. In this process, crossing of two different plants with desired characteristics that ensure a superior variety with the combined characteristics of the parents. In the process, we can create superior varieties or new varieties. What are the importance of artificial hybridization? Artificial hybridization, it is to improve the quality of the crops, then and also it is useful in plant breeding for creating new variety. So this is an important process in plant breeding, artificial hybridization. This process involves different steps. First step is called selection. First step is known as selection. Selection means selection of parent plants. What we need to select? Selection of parent plants. We can select different crops as parents, different crops with the desired characteristics. Here consider one plant as the female parent, and another plant as male parent, and also one plant having high yield Imagine one plant having high yield and another plant is having disease resistant. Listen here, only one plant is having high yield and another plant is having disease resistant. We need to combine these two characteristics and produce a new variety with the combined characteristics. That is selection. That process is known as selection. Selection of parent plants with the desired characteristics. Here is the example of desired character, high yield and disease resistance. Okay. Then second step, emasculation. Emasculation. Emasculation is a process of removal of anther from bisexual flower at bud stage. From a bisexual flower at what stage? It is at bud. A flower at a bud stage. Anther. What is an anther? All of you know what is an anther. Anther means male reproductive part. We need to remove male reproductive part from bisexual flower. Bisexual flower means a flower is having both sex. We need to remove anther from the bisexual flower. That is what is emasculation. What is emasculation? Emasculation is a process of removal of anther from bisexual flower at bud stage. Then next thing, unisexual flowers are there. Unisexual flowers means only one sex is there, either male or female. In such flowers, during artificial hybridization, this step, second step is not required. But second step is necessary or required for which flowers? In case of bisexual flowers, emasculation is a necessary step, but unisexual flowers, emasculation is not a necessary step. Then about emasculation, there are different methods of emasculation that we can discuss now. Different methods of emasculation. How can we how can we conduct emasculation? First method, forceps and scissors. First method is called the forceps and scissors method. Here, this method, in this method, we can use a pair of sterilized forceps or scissors and cut the anther or remove the anther from the bisexual flower. This method is applicable for big flowers. If the flower is bigger in size, for example, hibiscus. Hibiscus flower and its reproductive parts are large in size. So, in the case of big flowers, we can adopt which method? Forceps or and scissor method is applicable. Okay. Then second method is called cold or hot water method. Second method is called cold or hot water method. Then third step, this is second step. Then third method is known as alcohol treatment. Alcohol treatment. Cold or hot water method, alcohol treatment. These two methods are for the small flowers because the reproductive organs and also the flower itself small. Then cold or hot water method, alcohol treatment, those methods are applicable for small flowers. In the case of small flowers, the anthers, we can dip the anthers in a hot or cold or alcohol. Then we can kill the anther or sterilize the anther. Thus we can remove anther from the flower. These are the different methods of emasculation for artificial hybridization. Then second step is over. Then about third step. Third step is known as bagging. Bagging. Bagging is the third step. Bagging means emasculated flowers, after emasculation, emasculated flowers are covered with a bag of suitable size. So bagging means, emasculated flowers are covered with a bag of suitable size. Generally, those bags are made up of butter paper. Bagging ensures prevention of unwanted pollen grains. That ensures prevent contamination of the stigma from unwanted pollen grains. So that is what is bagging. Bagging prevent contamination. Here contamination means unwanted pollen grains. We want some desired pollen grains, so we can prevent or we can ensure that desired pollen grains are there. So through this technique, through this process or this step, bagging, we can prevent contamination of the stigma, emasculated flower and its stigma from unwanted pollen grains. That is what is bagging. Okay, then the fourth step is collection of desired pollen grains. Collection of desired pollen. This is very small step. Mature pollen grains are collected from desired plants. Mature pollen grains. This is a very small step. Collection of the desired pollen grains. Already in the first step, we select the parent and desired with the desired characteristics. So mature pollen grains are collected from the desired parent and also desired pollen grains. Then fifth step is dusting of pollen grains on the stigma of emasculated flower. Fifth step is known as dusting of pollen grains on the stigma of emasculated flowers. For this step, we need to remove the bag, then dust the pollen grains on the stigma, then rebag the flower. Don't forget to rebag it again. Rebag the flowers. So, in the fifth step, dusting of pollen grains on the stigma of the emasculated flowers. For that, we need to remove the bag, then dust the pollen grains, then rebag it again. That also ensures prevention of contamination. Okay, so this is what is the fifth step. Then in the sixth step, fertilization and production of seeds. This is naturally occurring plants. Already after dusting the pollen grains are germinated on the stigma. Then that leads to fertilization. Then fertilization leads to the production of fruits and seeds. That is what is sixth step in artificial hybridization, that is naturally occurring plants. Then seventh step, this is the last step of artificial hybridization. Seventh step is known as testing of seeds. Testing of seeds. How can we test the seeds? Testing of seeds can be done by growing seeds in the soil, and through that testing we can analyze a new plant is having, whether the plant is having high yield or disease resist. We can analyze the new plant is having high yield or disease resistant. If the new plant is having, when the seed germinated in the soil, we can analyze the plant is having desired characteristics of the parents. If new plant is having desired characteristics, what are the characters? High yield and disease resistant. We have success with the experiment. Okay, these are the process or the steps of artificial hybridization. There are 7 different steps. I repeat again. First step is known as selection of the parent plants with the desired characteristics. Second step, emasculation. Emasculation is a removal of anther from the bisexual flower at bud stage. Then third step is known as bagging. Bagging ensures prevention of contamination from the unwanted pollen grains that protect the stigma of the flower from unwanted pollen grains. Bagging. Then next, fourth step is collection of the pollen grains with the desired characteristics. That is very small step. Then fifth step is known as dusting of pollen grains on the stigma of the emasculated flower. Then the sixth step is fertilization and production of fruits and seeds. Production of seed or fruit, like that. That is a naturally occurring phenomenon in plants. Then the last step is known as testing of the seeds. Testing is done in soil and we can analyze its growth, then the characteristics, identify whether the plant is having desired characteristics or not. Then if the plant is having the characteristics, we are succeeded or we have success with the experiment. All these are the process. Artificial hybridization, very important process for plant breeding program. Then write down some board questions. CBSE asking some 2 mark, 1 mark questions from this topic. Then you can note down the questions. First question. Based on this topic, first question. What is bagging? What is bagging and how is it useful in plant breeding program? How is it useful in plant breeding program? Then second question. When and why does a plant breeder employ this technique? When and why does a plant breeder employ this technique? This technique means bagging. Second question. For first question is what is bagging? Second step, when and why does a plant breeder employ this technique? I will tell you the answers now. First, what is bagging? Bagging means emasculated flowers are covered with a bag of suitable size. Generally, bags are made up of butter paper. How is it useful in plant breeding program? It ensures protection of the stigma from unwanted pollen grains. That is the advantage of bagging. Then when and why does plant breeder employ this technique? When bagging is employed. Bagging, when and why does. Bagging during artificial hybridization, this technique is employed. Then why does bagging employ this technique? Why does means it is to improve the crop, for improving the crops. Then third question, all of you write down the third question. Plan an experiment, prepare a flowchart of the steps that you would follow to ensure that seeds are formed only from desired sets of the pollen grains. Name the type of the experiment that you carried out. That is the first section of the third question. Then B part, write the importance of such experiments. First question I will repeat again. Plan an experiment and prepare a flow chart. You can prepare a flow chart of the steps, flowchart of the steps that you would follow to ensure that seeds are formed only from desired sets of the pollen grains. Name the type of the experiment that you would carry out. Then B part, section of the question, write the importance of the such experiments. These are the questions as homework. Thank you. Next topic is double fertilization. Double fertilization. From the term, it is clear. Double fertilization means two fertilization. What are they? Here, syngamy and triple fusion, together known as double fertilization. Syngamy and triple fusion. These two fertilization together called double fertilization. We can discuss these two fertilization in detail. Before that, all of you recollect the structure of mature embryo sac. What is it? Structure of mature embryo sac. Structure of mature embryo sac. Structure of mature embryo sac is having 7 cells and 8 nucleus. 7 cells and 8 nucleus. Now we understand which are the cells. 7 cells. How many cells are there? Which are they? And how many nucleus are there? And which are they? Okay. Just I will repeat the same. You already learnt it for this topic. I want to repeat it again. So all of you listen here. Structure of mature embryo sac. 7 cells and 8 nucleus. Here 3 cells are there. They together known as antipodal cells. Antipodal cells are usually situated at the chalazal end or basal part of the embryo. Then next there is a cell at the center called a central cell. Central cell with how many nucleus? 2 nuclei are there. These nuclei together known as polar nuclei. They are also known as secondary nucleus. Then 3 cells are there at the micropylar end. There is an opening, micropyle. Then at micropylar end, 3 cells are situated. They are together known as egg apparatus. Egg apparatus consists of 3 cells, same as antipodal cells, but 3 cells are separate. That means one cell is called the egg cell, that is situated at the center of the egg apparatus, and 2 cells are there. They are situated at both sides of the egg cell. These 2 cells, the cells that are present at the side of the, that means 2 lateral side of the egg cell, together known as synergids. They are called as synergids or synergids. They protect the egg cell. That is what is egg apparatus. Okay, how many cells are there? 3 plus 1 plus 3, 7 cells are there. Then 8 nucleus. Which are the nucleus or what are they? Where are they present? 8 nuclei are there. Then here antipodal cells with 1 nucleus. Each cell having 1 nucleus. Here 3 nuclei. Then central cell with 2 nuclei. Then egg apparatus is also having 3 nuclei. So 3 plus 2 plus 3. 8 nuclei present. Okay, that is what is the structure of mature embryo sac, 7 celled 8 nucleus stage. Clear? Okay, this double fertilization takes the same structure. Where is double fertilization takes place in plants? This double fertilization or 2 fertilization takes place within the same structure. Which structure? Mature embryo sac. Clear? Then we can discuss syngamy and triple fusion. First fertilization is known as syngamy. Syngamy means normal fertilization, fusion of male and female gametes together known as, this is a normal fertilization. This fertilization is known as syngamy. Syngamy product. What is the product of syngamy? Zygote is the product. Zygote is the diploid structure. Zygote is the product. Zygote develops into embryo. Zygote develops into embryo. Then embryo form new plantlets. New plants. Embryo form new plants. Okay. Clear? What are the products of syngamy? What is syngamy? Normal fertilization, fusion of male and female gametes. Then the product is zygote. First product is zygote. Zygote is the diploid structure. Zygote develops into embryo. Embryo produce new plant. That is what is the stages or the structures that you produce after syngamy. Okay. When during syngamy or during double fertilization, pollen grains are the male gametophyte that carry how many male nucleus that we already learned. that you have learned already. That means pollen grain is known as male gametophyte because they are the male gamete carrying structures. There are two male gametes or male nuclei present in the pollen tube. So when the pollen tube releases the two male gametes, that is in the cytoplasm of one of the synergids, there are two synergids at micropylar end at two lateral sides of the egg cell. One of the synergid and its cytoplasm, this pollen tube releases their male gametes in the cytoplasm of one of the synergid. Then here, out of the two male gametes, one male gamete move towards the egg cell. Only one male gamete move towards the egg cell and fuse together. That is what is syngamy. That fertilization, that first fertilization is known as syngamy. Then product of syngamy, zygote. Then two nuclei fuse together and form a diploid structure. That structure, diploid cell, that cell is called zygote. Zygote form embryo. Then embryo form new plantlet. Okay, clear what is syngamy. Then next thing is, another male gamete is also there. That male gamete move towards, through the synergid, that move towards the central cell. There is a cell that is present at the center. This another male gamete moves towards the central cell where two nuclei present. What are they or which are they? They are polar nuclei. These two polar nuclei and the male gamete. Male gamete means the nucleus itself. The male nucleus and male nucleus is also known as male gamete. This nucleus and polar nuclei fuse together. How many nuclei fuse together? 3 nuclei fuse together. Which are they? 2 polar nuclei and one of the male nucleus fuse together and form what? A structure called pen. Pen is a triploid structure, 3N. Pen is a triploid structure. That fertilization, second fertilization is known as triple fusion. That fertilization is known as triple fusion. 3 nuclei fuse together. How many nuclei fuse together? 3 nuclei fuse together. Which are they? Do you clear? Which are they? 2 polar nuclei and one of the male gamete fuse together and form a triploid structure called a pen. Pen is the short form. It's what is pen? Pen means primary endosperm nucleus. Primary endosperm nucleus. Primary endosperm nucleus is pen. Pen means primary endosperm nucleus. This primary endosperm nucleus develops into PEC. PEC means primary endosperm cell. Primary endosperm cell. Then final product of this fertilization is endosperm. Final product of this fertilization is endosperm. Syngamy final product is embryo and plantlet. Here final product is endosperm. This endosperm provide, this is a nutrient rich structure. This endosperm provide nourishment for developing embryo and plantlet. Clear what is the function of endosperm? But triple fusion and syngamy, these two fertilization together takes place within the same structure. This structure is mature embryo sac. Then here is there are some finger-like projections present at the egg apparatus or at the micropylar end or micropyle. In the opening there are some finger-like projections. They are called a filiform apparatus. They are together known as filiform apparatus. These finger-like projections actually perform a function that guide the pollen tube. This pollen tube enter into the egg apparatus. So these finger-like projections or filiform apparatus that guide the pollen tube towards the egg cell. That is the function of filiform apparatus. It is also very important structure present in the embryo sac. Finger-like projections called filiform apparatus. All of you note down please what are filiform apparatus. Filiform apparatus are the finger-like projections. They are present at micropylar region or close to the egg apparatus. What is the function of filiform apparatus? It guides M2 towards the egg cell. Okay. But these two fertilization takes place in the mature embryo sac. Then there is one question. Where is mature embryo sac present? Do you know where is mature embryo sac present? Mature embryo sac is present within the ovule. Ovule means megasporangium. Within the ovule. Then where is ovule present? Ovule is present within the ovary. Where is ovary present? Ovary present. Ovary is the basal part of the female reproductive structure. Female reproductive structure is known as pistil or carpel. There are three parts: stigma, style, ovary. Ovary is the basal part. That ovary contain one or many ovules. That ovules are also known as megasporangium. Megaspore producing structure. Then that megasporangium contain or ovule contain this structure, mature embryo sac. Here in the mature embryo sac, all these two fertilization takes place. Okay, these two fertilization together known as double fertilization. So double fertilization is the unique event found in flowering plants. Flowering plants are also known as angiosperms. Not all the plants, only angiosperms are having this phenomenon. Which one? Double fertilization. This is a unique event found in angiosperms. Angiosperms are the flowering plants. Clear? What is double fertilization? Then next thing, all of you write the lecture note. After the lecture note of double fertilization, you can draw a diagram related with this topic in page number 34. Page number 34, figure number 2.13. Figure number 2.13, A diagram. Figure number 2.13, page number 34, A diagram. Heading of the diagram: mature embryo sac showing zygote and pen, primary endosperm nucleus. So all of you draw that diagram also. Okay, read the topic 3 times and study very well.